Hey everybody, Brandon here from CAD Intentions, and in today's video I'm going to share a handful of simple time-saving tips in AutoCAD. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one, and I'm sure you're going to pick something up along the way. Let's jump right in. Alright, so I'm going to try and keep all of these nice and quick and easy. First up is Match Properties command, and that would be activated by the M and A in the command line and hitting enter. Match Properties is simply going to match the properties from one object to another, and this can be anything from lines, blocks, text. It's going to match as many of the properties as it can from the source object to the new object. So if we draw a new line here and just kind of go wherever we want, and we want it to look like this blue line, typing MA and hitting enter, selecting our source object, and then our destination object is going to match the layer, line type, line weight in this instance. Now that's going to vary. It'll match things like your textiles and layers for text and layers for blocks, etc. Now it's not going to match everything for every object. It depends on the compatibility between the two, but it is a great way to get things on the right layers if you want to just draw quickly and then swap them all later, especially if you're not doing enough to warrant, say, changing your layer to the object that you want it to be on. Simply drawing it on whatever layer you're using and then matching it to where it should be can save you some time in the long run when you're working on a bunch of different things within a drawing. Alright, so similar to Match Properties, another little shortcut time saver that you can use is groups within AutoCAD. Now, instead of spending the time to make a block for a set of objects, you can simply select the objects you'd like to block together and type in group. Grouping is going to combine all of those objects into a single object here in AutoCAD that you now have the ability to move around, copy. So you can see I copied this one here, and it's going to copy that whole group by simply selecting one of them. When you're finished with that group, or you don't need them grouped anymore, you can simply click on it and type in ungroup, or you can leave them as groups for simplicity and to keep your drawings a little less cluttered with a lot of small objects. If you find yourself reusing a group a bunch of times, creating a block out of that group is probably the best bet. That's going to allow you to move that block around independently of your objects there, as well as import or insert them into other drawings and scale them accordingly. But for short-term, quick drawings, using the group command can be a big time saver, especially when things are cluttered and you want to be able to select a group of objects quickly and repeatedly. That's the way to go there. Alright, so next up is a cool little trick that can help save you time if you ever need to create corners or kind of 90-degree angles quickly out of some of your line work. The Chamfer command, when set to a 0 distance, so I typed in chamfer, I'm going to use D for distance and then 0 for the distance. And now I can simply select, oh, you've got to choose two distances, the first and second distance. You want them both to be 0 here. And now you can simply select any two line objects and create nice 90-degree corners right away. It's going to basically do that trim or delete for you. And same as here, it's going to do the extend command for you. So selecting chamfer again, so hitting enter and then choosing this one and this one, you can see that it created that corner for you. So hitting enter again, so you can see pretty quickly you can create a nice 90-degree corner there. You can also change up these settings to have actual chamfers, say 45s or 33-degree angles, but I like this to make boxes, close in areas, especially if you're doing floor plans and you just want to throw a bunch of lines down quickly. You can go in and clean, either using the trim and extend, or in some cases the chamfer command to save a bit of time and a few keystrokes. So the next tip is actually a quick way to move objects around your drawing without having to type in or activate any commands. Selecting an object or multiple objects and then simply clicking on it and dragging while holding down the left click. So click and hold it down. You can simply drag around pretty much any object within AutoCAD if you just keep that left click held down. This is going to save you time if you want to move things around quickly or just get them into a general area, and then you can move and use the move command and snap to things or align them using the align command to get more precise. But to quickly grab and move objects, simply selecting them, left click and then hold it down. You can drag it around and then just let go wherever you'd like it. You don't have to use that move command and waste a couple keystrokes in the process. Alright, so next up, if you ever find yourself creating the same piece of text or dimension, type, or object or block multiple times, it might be a good idea to add it to a custom tool palette. Tool palettes give you a new palette similar to the properties window here, but you can add and remove things like text and dimensions or blocks. This allows you to simply click and insert something that you use a lot so that it's always the same and just a single click rather than recreating something from scratch. So you can bring up your tool palettes by typing in tool palette. You can also go up to your ribbon and right click, choose the group you want, and then right click again and then show that related tool palette group. If you don't have one, simply typing tool palette is going to bring one up here, and you can see this is a typical text palette here. So you can see I've got a few random ones. We're going to create a new group, so right clicking on our tool palette here and choose new palette. You can give it a name by double clicking or right clicking on it and renaming it. I'm going to call this example, and I'm just going to add a few things to it. So if you tend to be creating a line type pretty often, you can simply grab it and drop it into your tool palette. You can give it a name by right clicking and choosing properties. You can just call it typical blue dashed. Now this is probably going to mean something for you. Maybe you've got a wall line type or a window line type. Adding it to here is going to keep things similar for you. So now when I click on it and I go and draw a line, you can see it's given it all of the properties that this one had initially. Now this also works with, say, text or dimensions. So you can see I've got a yellow dimension here on the dims layer and this font and style. Dragging this into there is going to add a dimension. I'm going to go to the properties and just call it my typical dimension. Now you can change a bunch of settings in here if you'd like it to come out that way, but if you've preset this up, most of those settings are going to be linked to this new tool palette option. Hitting OK is going to finalize that, and now whenever I need to create a new dimension, I simply click the button, dimension where I want, and it's going to maintain the same settings, style, and layer as the ones I've already created. So again, this is going to create a great way to keep consistency between your drawings while eliminating doing the repetitive tasks like, say, setting up your dimensions or labels or anything like that. Now you've got this tool palette that you can place wherever you'd like on a second screen, dock it, close it for now, and then when you need it, bring it up, go to the tab that you've created, and simply start using it. Before I jump into the next tip, if you like these tips and tricks and you want to learn more about AutoCAD fundamentals and workflows, I've got a course that's available for download. I'll put that link up above and down in the description. It's called AutoCAD Fundamentals and Workflows in a Hurry, and it's got over 10 years of experience, tips, tricks, and workflows packed into a series of easy to watch videos that are all kind of condensed down to the exact things you need to know, and you're going to learn a lot along the way. I think you guys are going to like it. Again, you can click those links up above and down below to get a discount for viewers of the channel and videos. All right, let's jump back into the tips. Alright, so the next tip would be when you run into an issue selecting objects that are above or below another object. Now, if you're like me, I don't really like the selection cycling, but you can turn that on down here by clicking this little icon here. And now when you hover over or select an object where there are multiple objects, you can see that you've got a selection dialog box here. This is going to allow you to choose which thing you'd like to select. So you can see our outer wall polyline is the first one, but you can see when I select the second one that there's actually a polyline down below it. Now, typically that is a little bit more time consuming using the cycling, and I don't tend to like it since it kind of clutters the screen when it pops up and you have to cycle through that every time. Now, I tend to keep that off, but if I wanted to select that object that I know is below this wall, the easiest way to do that then is to hold Shift and hit space, and you can see it cycles between the two things each time I hit Shift. So hold down Shift and then hit space to cycle. So Shift and then space, space, space. So once you've got the one you want highlighted, simply letting go and clicking is going to activate that object. It's a great way to not have selections cycling on all the time if you find it's a little bit in the way and cluttered when you have a lot of objects in your drawing. Holding down Shift and tapping space until the one you want is highlighted, then letting go and clicking it is going to be a lot quicker in my opinion and keep that clutter to a minimum. Alright, so for this tip we're going to go to a layout tab, and similar to selecting and cycling objects in model space, being able to cycle through your viewports if you've got a handful of viewports and a busy layout space can be a big time saver. So if you're in or active in one viewport, holding down Control and hitting R is going to cycle through another viewport. So this way you can quickly move between viewports without having any issues double clicking in and out of the viewports or activating it through the layout tab here. It's also a great fix for if you've ever had two viewports on top of each other and you just can't select one of them or get out of one of them. Using Control and then R to cycle through them is going to fix that issue for you. And then the last couple commands here are the save all and close all commands. If you're heading out for lunch and you want to save all of your drawings or close all of your drawings, I'll typically use the close all drawing, and then it's going to prompt you if you'd like to save each drawing as you go. That lets me kind of pick and choose which drawings I want to save and update as I say leave for the end of the day or leave for lunch. Save all can be a little hit and miss because a lot of times you may not want to save all of your drawings at once, but they're both commands that you can use. I'm going to use the close all command here, and it's going to ask if I want to save any of my drawings. I'm going to save this one here that we were just working on, as well as this blank drawing here. I'll save it for now. That now closed out all of the open drawings I had in AutoCAD, and now I can head out for the day. So that's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in an upcoming one. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button and a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.